the current president of the National Association of Black Journalists, Minnesota, Cherie Curry.
Yeah. Also, thank you all for coming out. Cherie Curry, S-H-E-R-E-E, Curry, C-U-R-R-Y. I am co-president of the National Association of Black Journalists, Minnesota chapter, and Georgia Ford is one of our vice presidents of this chapter, and we demand the immediate release of her and for all charges to be dropped. She, as Harry had said earlier, she is an award-winning journalist. She has covered demonstrations throughout her career, including the protests that erupted after the murder of George Floyd. The First Amendment protects the press and enables journalists to be able to do their jobs, to be able to collect, publish, and disseminate information that is important for all of our readers, our listeners, our viewers to understand what's going on. And Georgia was doing her job. She had boots on the ground. It is very important that people like her, independent journalists especially, be protected. They do not have the same type of backing as an independent journalist as someone would who works for a media outlet. So we are outraged for this and for her family, and I hope all of you will feel the same who hears what happens to her and know that if it is about attacking a journalist, it is attacking all of us as citizens. Thank you.
Elisa? And I apologize because I'm going to mispronounce your last name. All right.
My name is Elisa Kuznetsov, A-L-E-E-S-A-K-U-Z, N as in Nancy, E, T as in Tom, S-O, V as in Victor. I am the president-elect of the Minnesota Society of Professional Journalists. Our president couldn't be here today. The Minnesota Society of Professional Journalists strongly condemns the wrongful arrests of journalists Georgia Fort and Don Lemon for reporting on a church protest in St. Paul. Georgia Fort, as many have already said, is an Emmy Award-winning journalist who has paved the way for independent journalism here in Minnesota. As a founder of Black Press and the Center for Broadcast Journalism, and a former member of our board, Georgia is a pillar of our Minnesota journalism community. She has a passion for making the profession more accessible and has mentored and trained countless young journalists. We are alarmed by the escalating actions by the Trump administration that attack freedom of the press. Journalists not only have the right, but the responsibility to observe and report events in the public interest. It is not illegal to document a protest against the federal government. The fact that the protest took place in a church does not negate journalists' First Amendment right to report. The effort to punish independent reporting is an effort to weaken democracy. If Georgia and Don's cases proceed, it would seriously undermine both the freedom of the press and the rule of law. We urge the federal government to remember the importance of the First Amendment. The Minnesota Society of Professional Journalists has recorded several acts of violence against journalists from federal law enforcement in the last month. The failure to stop these acts sets a dangerous precedent for censoring the truth. The Minnesota Society of Professional Journalists will continue its commitment to protect press freedom and advocate for any journalists in our state who experience a First Amendment violation. Thank you, and we'll have a full statement posted on our website, mnspj.org, later today.
Thank you. We're going to hear from our current Minneapolis NAACP president.
Good morning. My name is Cynthia Wilson, the current president of the Minneapolis NAACP. And you've heard already what's been said. We definitely stand in solidarity with our journalist, and specifically Georgia Fort, as she has been an integral part of providing the news for the black community. Mm-hmm. That being said, I also want to say that what you're seeing now and what we're experiencing is a pivot away from what's happening with our democracy. And if we allow this to happen now, this is not a Republican, this is not a Democratic, this is not a black, white, as you already heard, this is a humanity issue. And what we're experiencing, you all, and you have to recognize it, even for the most people who are not even, brilliant or can't see clearly, this is blatant as it gets. Mm-hmm. Number 47 is out to be a dictator. Mm-hmm. Yes. And he is looking to take away all of our rights. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everyone who voted him in, he's voting you out. Mm-hmm. So what I would say, we have another election coming up. We need to prepare to vote, to get our voices heard, and to make sure that we're doing what's necessary to make sure our democracy stays a democracy and not a dictatorship. That being said, we're standing in support of Georgia Fort, and we're asking that she be released immediately. And at that point, I'll turn it back over to the hands. Thank you.